Here's the truth. Most people think preppers are just hoarding cans of beans and stacks of bottled water. But step inside their pantries and you'll find something very different. Things that look strange, sound extreme, and might even make you raise an eyebrow. Yet in a crisis, these so-called weird stockpiles could be the difference between calm control and total collapse. Because prepping isn't about collecting random food, it's about survival strategy. Every item tucked away on those shelves has a purpose, a hidden advantage, and in some cases, a shocking use you'd never expect. These aren't your everyday groceries, they're survival power plays. From nutrient-packed staples disguised as simple snacks to old-world remedies that outlast modern medicine, what preppers stash away reveals how far ahead they're really thinking. And wait until you see number 4. It's the one item most people laugh at until it ends up saving lives. Let's dig in. Number 1, powdered milk. Let's get real. Powdered milk is one of those survival foods people laugh at until the day they're staring at an empty fridge, wondering how to feed their kids. Fresh milk? Forget it. The second your power goes out, that carton turns into a science experiment. But powdered milk? That's the unsung hero of survival pantries, the food industry's best-kept secret, and, depending on who you ask, a product that Big Dairy doesn't really want you paying attention to. Think about it. Why push a shelf-stable product that lasts 20-plus years when they can keep you hooked on buying fresh jugs that spoil every week? There's no money in long-term stability. That's why powdered milk has been quietly sidelined as emergency food, while corporations push overpriced almond milk and trendy oat blends. But in a crisis, nobody's trading bullets for oat milk. Powdered is the real deal. Nutritionally, it's a powerhouse. Calcium, protein, fat, the holy trinity your body will crave when food scarcity hits. Mixed with water, you've got instant milk for coffee, cereal, or baking. Stir it into soups, sauces, or even bread dough, and suddenly bland survival grub turns into something that feels normal, comforting, almost civilized. And don't overlook its value as currency. When families are weeks deep into drinking dirty creek water, powdered milk becomes liquid gold. People will barter serious supplies for just a taste of normalcy. Storage tip: Mylar bags plus oxygen absorbers plus a cool, dark pantry. Done right, it'll sit there quietly waiting for you for 20-plus years. Try that with a gallon of 2%. Price punchline. Right now, bulk powdered milk runs under $4 a pound. That's less than 50 cents a glass. Compare that to store milk. $4 a gallon if you're lucky, spoiled in 5 days flat. It's daylight robbery. Rising cost warning. But here's the kicker. Powdered milk prices shot up nearly 14% just last year. With global dairy supplies squeezed by droughts, fuel costs, and export bans, don't be surprised when it doubles again next season. And while you're laughing at the thought of stocking powdered milk, preppers are quietly buying it all up, leaving empty shelves for everyone else. Powdered milk isn't just food, it's insurance. Ignore it and you'll be lining up with the desperate masses. Stock it now, and you'll be the one deciding who gets a glass and who walks away empty-handed. And trust me, this is just the beginning. The next item? It's so underrated, most people won't even think of it until it's too late. Number 2, honey. Here's a wild fact. Archaeologists have cracked open 3,000-year-old Egyptian tombs and found jars of honey that were still edible. Let that sink in. Civilizations rose and fell, kings came and went, entire empires vanished. But the honey stayed ready to eat. That's not food, that's survival sorcery sealed in glass. And here's where it gets controversial. Honey isn't just a sweetener, it's survival medicine that Big Pharma would rather you forget about. A spoonful gives you fast, clean energy when you're running on fumes. Mixed into bland rice or oatmeal, it keeps morale high when spirits are low. Got a nasty cough? Honey soothes it better than half the syrups on pharmacy shelves, without the chemical sludge. Cut your hand in the field? Dab honey on it. Its antibacterial properties have been saving lives since before antibiotics were even a word. Think about it. When supply chains collapse, your luxury honey stash becomes a literal first aid kit in a jar. Storage tip: keep it sealed in glass jars or food-grade plastic in a cool, dry spot. Don't freak out if it crystallizes. That's normal. Warm it gently, and it's liquid gold again. No rotating, no expiration date, no nonsense. Honey will outlive you. Price punchline. Right now, you can grab raw honey for $6 to $10 a jar. That's pennies per use, considering a single tablespoon can sweeten an entire meal or give you an instant energy boost. Try getting that kind of shelf life and utility out of a $6 box of cookies. Rising cost warning. Here's the darker side. Bee populations are collapsing worldwide. Between pesticides, habitat loss, and climate chaos, we're staring down a future where honey could go from affordable pantry staple to luxury item overnight. Prices are already creeping up year after year, and experts aren't optimistic. Translation: honey might not just be survival food, it might become black market gold in a crisis. Ignore honey, and you're ignoring one of the most powerful, multi-use survival tools ever gifted by nature. Stock it deep, because once it's gone, it's gone. And if you think honey is impressive, just wait until number 3. It's dirt cheap, criminally underrated, and might be the single most overlooked survival hack on Earth. Number 3, instant coffee and tea. Let's be real. When the world flips upside down, caffeine isn't a luxury, it's survival in a cup. That first sip of coffee or tea in the morning, it doesn't just wake you up, it calms your nerves, sharpens your focus, and gives you the mental edge when everyone else is spiraling. Preppers know one universal truth: morale is fuel. And in a survival situation, caffeine might just be the cheapest, most powerful morale booster you can stock. Here's the dirty little secret. Caffeine isn't just about comfort. It's chemical warfare for your brain. Head pounding from withdrawal? Coffee fixes it. Body shutting down from exhaustion? Tea gives you that slow, steady energy. Running on empty rations? Caffeine doubles as a mild appetite suppressant, tricking your body into pushing further without food. And here's the part nobody talks about. Caffeine becomes currency. In a barter economy, a single packet of instant coffee is worth more than gold to someone going through withdrawal. Addicts will trade ammo, fuel, even food for just one more fix. Harsh truth, caffeine is one of the most addictive survival tools you can weaponize. Storage tip: instant coffee, tea bags, and even caffeine pills if you want to get real clinical about it. Vacuum seal them, stash in airtight containers, and you're looking at 10 to 20 years of shelf life. Toss a few single-serve packets into every bug-out bag you own. When morale tanks, one hot cup can stop panic dead in its tracks. Price punchline: bulk instant coffee, $10 to $15 for a container that makes 100 plus cups. That's liquid motivation for under 15 cents a serving. Tea bags, even cheaper, under 10 cents a brew. Compare that to Starbucks charging $6 for the same caffeine hit. Prepping just exposed how rigged your daily habit really is. Rising cost warning. But here's the part that should scare you. Coffee prices spiked over 11% just last year thanks to global droughts, crop failures, and supply chain chaos. Tea growers are next in line. And here's the controversial twist. While farmers are struggling, corporations are jacking up prices far beyond the shortage margins. Translation: they're turning caffeine into a luxury commodity, and you'll be the one paying boutique prices for what used to be a dirt-cheap daily ritual. In a crisis, caffeine isn't optional. It's survival chemistry. Ignore it and you'll be slow, foggy, and bartering away your last can of beans for a single coffee packet. Stock it deep, keep it sealed, and you'll always have clarity when chaos hits. And here's the kicker. While caffeine keeps your brain sharp, the next item isn't about energy at all. It's pure survival chemistry, and it can solve more problems than most people even realize. Number 4, baking soda. If there's one pantry item that deserves a standing ovation, it's baking soda. Forget the fancy gadgets and overpriced prepper gimmicks. This little white powder is the Swiss Army knife of survival. Dirt cheap, practically immortal on the shelf, and useful in more ways than most people can count. Preppers call it the unsung hero for a reason. Here's where it gets wild. The average person only knows baking soda as the stuff you bake cookies with or stick in the fridge for odors. But in a survival scenario, it's toothpaste, deodorant, dish soap, stomach relief, fire extinguisher, food preserver, and cleaning supply all rolled into one. Big corporations don't exactly advertise that fact. Why would they when they'd rather sell you 10 different expensive products that baking soda does better for pennies? Use it smart. Brush your teeth with it when toothpaste runs out. Rub it on as deodorant when showers are rare. Scrub pots, pans, and water bottles with it when soap is gone. Sprinkle it in your pantry to absorb odors and extend the shelf life of stored foods. Got heartburn or indigestion from survival rations? Mix a little with water. Instant relief. And here's the kicker. Baking soda will even put out a grease fire on the spot. Hygiene, health, safety, all covered by a $1 box. Storage tip: keep it sealed tight in Mylar bags or airtight containers to prevent clumping. As long as it stays dry, baking soda basically never expires. One big stockpile now could literally last you a lifetime. Price punchline: you can still grab a 1-pound box for under $1. Think about that. Less than the price of a candy bar, and each box covers dozens of survival jobs. Hands down, it's the best cost-to-value ratio in your entire pantry. Rising cost warning: don't get too comfortable. The raw minerals used to make baking soda aren't immune to inflation. Prices have already ticked up in the last 2 years, and as more preppers wake up to its importance, demand will only climb. Here's the controversial part: baking soda is so universal. Some insiders argue shortages could be artificially manipulated to push people back into buying the overpriced products it replaces. Translation: the cheapest survival hack in the store might not stay cheap for long. Ignore it now and you'll regret it later when shelves are stripped bare. Baking soda is the kind of prep that doesn't just save your money, it saves your life. And here's where it gets fun. Because while baking soda can solve almost everything, the next item on the list is the ultimate survival food duo: cheap, filling, and nearly unbreakable when stored right. Stick around for number 5. It's the backbone of serious prepper pantries. Number 5. Dried beans. Beans don't look flashy, but don't be fooled. These little guys are survival fuel in disguise. Packed with protein, fiber, and slow-burning energy, beans will keep you full, strong, and steady when everything else is falling apart. Pair them with rice, and you've basically got the ultimate prepper power combo: cheap, filling, and nutritionally balanced enough to live on for months. That's why armies, explorers, and preppers alike have leaned on this duo for generations. It just works. Use it smart. Boil them up for stews, mash them into spreads, or stretch them across meals to make calories last. When food runs short, every spoonful counts, and beans go a long way. And here's the underrated angle. In a barter economy, a pound of beans isn't just food, it's leverage. Hungry people won't trade away precious ammo or medicine for snacks, but for food that actually fills them up? Beans are bargaining power in a sack. Storage is simple but critical. Dried beans sealed in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers and stashed in buckets can last 20 to 30 years. Wrap your head around that. You could stockpile beans today, forget about them, and your kids could still be eating the same stash decades from now. Few foods on Earth carry that kind of shelf life and nutritional punch combined. Price-wise, beans are still one of the cheapest survival foods out there, usually under $1 per pound. Break it down and you're talking less than 20 cents per serving for real, filling protein. You can't beat that anywhere, not in the grocery store, not in a fast food joint, nowhere. It's survival nutrition at rock bottom cost. But here's the part most people miss. Bean prices are already on the rise. Reports show a 12% jump just last year thanks to droughts, shipping disruptions, and global crop stress. That's not a small bump, that's a warning sign. The longer you wait, the pricier this staple becomes. And when the food system starts to buckle, beans won't just be cheap pantry filler, they'll be one of the first essentials to vanish. Quick gut check. If even one of these pantry hacks has surprised you so far, imagine how many more you don't know. And now we're about to hit the survival tricks that separate amateurs from the real deal. Because number 6, it's not food, it's chemistry. And it's the kind of bottle you'll use for everything from cleaning wounds to preserving food. Let's get into it. Number 6, vinegar. If you think vinegar is just for salad, you're missing the point. This isn't a condiment, it's survival chemistry in a bottle. Cheap, shelf-stable, and ridiculously versatile, vinegar is one of those overlooked items that quietly outperforms half the junk lining store shelves. That's why seasoned preppers don't just buy a bottle here and there, they stock it by the gallon, because vinegar does the work of 10 different products without ever going bad. And here's the twist. Corporations would rather you didn't know that. Why sell you one $3 bottle that lasts forever when they can trick you into buying dozens of overpriced cleaners, disinfectants, and miracle sprays that expire in months? Use it smart. Vinegar steps in wherever survival throws you a curveball. Need to disinfect a counter or even clean a wound? It's your antiseptic. Out of preservatives? You can pickle just about anything, stretching your food supply by months. Sore throat killing you? Gargle vinegar and keep moving. Bug infestation? Spray it down. Insects hate it. And here's the kicker most people don't even realize. Vinegar can help as a makeshift water purifier in a pinch. One cheap jug replaces medicines, cleaning supplies, and food preservatives. It's basically nature's all-purpose survival fluid. Storage is laughably simple. White vinegar is the king here. Keep it sealed in glass or plastic jugs, away from direct sunlight, and it lasts forever. No oxygen absorbers, no freezer space, no rotation schedules. Stock it once, and you're set for life. That's more than you can say for half the prepper products being hyped online. Now let's talk numbers. Right now, a gallon of white vinegar runs about $3. Do the math, and that's pennies per use for something that replaces an entire shelf of cleaning supplies, first aid products, and food storage chemicals. Dollar for dollar, vinegar isn't just cheap. It's one of the most valuable bottles you'll ever buy. But here's the controversial part nobody talks about. Vinegar production relies on corn and grain fermentation, and with global grain shortages hitting hard, the price of vinegar is already climbing. Last year alone, it rose nearly 9%. That's not just inflation, that's scarcity creeping into one of the most overlooked survival tools we've got. And here's where it gets dark. Governments and corporations aren't dumb. They know vinegar's role in food preservation and sanitation, which is why there's chatter that large-scale stockpiling has already started behind closed doors. The public gets distracted with shortages of eggs, bread, or coffee. Meanwhile, the basics like vinegar quietly disappear without headlines. If you're thinking, I'll grab it later, think again. Once the shelves get stripped, vinegar will be one of those items people kick themselves for ignoring, because no one's trading away their last gallon when it's the difference between safe food and spoiled rations. And here's where the list takes a sharp turn. Because the next item, it's not chemistry, it's comfort. The kind of jar that doesn't just keep your stomach full, but keeps your spirits alive when times get dark. Stick around for number 7. It's survival that actually tastes good. Number 7. Peanut butter. Peanut butter isn't just a snack, it's survival comfort in a jar. When meals get repetitive and morale tanks, one spoonful of this stuff can flip your whole mood, and that's no small thing. Preppers know survival isn't just about calories, it's about sanity. Peanut butter brings both, calorie-dense, protein-packed, and shelf-stable. In a crisis, that's exactly what you need. Quick, no-prep energy that doesn't waste fuel, water, or time. Here's the thing most people miss. Peanut butter isn't just food. It's comfort currency. In a barter economy, the guy holding extra jars of peanut butter might as well be holding gold. Kids crave it, adults crave it, and when stress is high, people will trade serious supplies just for one taste of normal. Forget cigars and whiskey. Peanut butter is the morale booster everyone actually wants. Use it smart. Spread it on crackers, stir it into oats, or eat it straight off the spoon when you're dragging. It's one of the few foods that gives you calories, fats, and protein in one hit, which is why soldiers, explorers, and athletes have leaned on it for decades. Survival isn't glamorous, but peanut butter makes it a whole lot easier to push through. Storage tip. Keep jars sealed and tucked in a cool, dark spot. Unopened, they'll last 1 to 2 years without issue, but natural peanut butter, without preservatives, has a shorter window. The real trick? Rotate your stock. Eat one, buy one, and always keep extras at the back. Done right, you'll never run out, even if the world shuts down tomorrow. Price punchline. Right now, you can still grab a jar for $3 to $5, and here's the math. A single tablespoon clocks in at around 90 calories. That means just one jar carries thousands of calories of survival fuel. Compare that to overpriced protein bars or prepper ration packs, and peanut butter crushes them dollar for dollar. But here's where it gets controversial. Peanuts are a fragile crop. They're water-hungry, climate-sensitive, and heavily dependent on steady weather cycles. Climate shifts, droughts, and soil depletion are already hitting peanut harvests, and the price tag shows it. Peanut butter has jumped nearly 15% in the last 2 years, and brands are quietly shrinking jar sizes while charging the same price. That's corporate sleight of hand. Survival food inflation disguised in plain sight. And when crops fail harder, peanut butter could go from comfort food to rationed luxury almost overnight. Ignore it, and you'll be stuck wishing you had stocked up when it was cheap. Stack it deep now, and you'll have one of the best morale and calorie combos money can buy. And here's the setup. While peanut butter gives you fast calories, the next pantry item is all about long-term protein. It might sound strange at first, but once you hear how long it lasts and how useful it is, you'll wonder why it's not in every prepper's stash. Number 8. Powdered eggs. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Powdered eggs sound sketchy, but ask any serious prepper and they'll tell you these things are survival gold. Lightweight, shelf-stable, and loaded with protein, powdered eggs turn into breakfast, baked goods, or a binding ingredient for meals when fresh eggs are nothing but a memory. Use it smart. Whisk them with water and you've got scrambled eggs in minutes. Use them in pancakes, cornbread, or casseroles, and you'd never know they came from a bag. They also store and transport way easier than fragile fresh eggs. No cracking, no spoilage, no waste. In a bug-out situation, that's priceless. Storage tip. Keep them sealed in Mylar with oxygen absorbers, and powdered eggs can last 10 to 15 years. Some freeze-dried versions stretch even further, up to 25 years. Just don't leave them open too long once you break the seal. Moisture is the enemy here. Price punchline. Right now, bulk powdered eggs run about $25 to $35 for a can that makes the equivalent of 70 to 80 eggs. Break it down and you're paying less than 40 cents an egg. Cheaper than the grocery store during a shortage. Rising cost warning, and shortages are exactly why this matters. Egg prices spiked nearly 60% last year after bird flu outbreaks wrecked supply chains. Powdered eggs rode that wave up too. And if it happens again, you'll be kicking yourself for not stocking up now. And here's the twist. Eggs are practical, but the next pantry item, it's ancient, powerful, and so valuable that civilizations literally went to war over it. Stick around for number 9. It's not just food, it's currency. Number 9. Salt. Salt isn't just seasoning. It's civilization in a crystal. For thousands of years, armies marched, empires rose, and wars were fought over this one mineral. And in a survival scenario, it becomes just as valuable as it was back then. Why? Because salt does what almost nothing else can. It preserves life. Use it smart. Salt keeps meat from spoiling, balances electrolytes when you're dehydrated, and transforms bland survival food into something you'll actually want to eat. It can also clean wounds, cure hides, and here's the kicker. In a barter economy, a bag of salt will trade faster than cash. People can live without money. They can't live without salt. Storage tip. Buy in bulk. 25 to 50 pound bags are dirt cheap. Then repackage into airtight containers or Mylar bags to keep moisture out. Pure salt doesn't go bad, ever. You can literally hand this down to the next generation. Price punchline. Right now, bulk salt runs under $1 a pound. Think about that. For less than the price of a soda, you're locking in a survival tool that can last forever. Few preps give you that kind of return. Rising cost warning, but don't get comfortable. Energy costs are rising worldwide, and salt mining and processing depend on them. In some regions, prices already climbed over 10% in the last year. Once shipping costs jump again, expect salt to quietly double in price. And that brings us to the final item on the list. Some laugh at it, some even call it junk food, but when the shelves are stripped bare, this one pantry classic becomes pure survival fuel. Stick around for number 10. You'll never look at it the same way again. Number 10. Spam or canned meat. Let's be honest, people love to make jokes about spam. But here's the truth. When shelves are bare and protein sources vanish, this little can becomes a survival jackpot. Shelf life measured in years, packed with protein, fat, and salt to keep your body fueled. And when you fry it up, it's actually pretty damn good. Preppers know this is survival you can eat straight from the tin. Use it smart. Dice it into rice, toss it in soups, or slice and fry it for an instant protein boost. The fat content keeps you full longer, and the salt helps you stay balanced when you're sweating through hard work. And don't overlook it as barter. Canned meat is worth its weight in gold when everyone else is stuck with beans and rice. Storage tip. Keep cans in a cool, dark pantry, and you're looking at a shelf life of 3 to 5 years minimum, often much longer if stored properly. Rotate through every couple years, but trust me, it'll outlast most of your other groceries. Price punchline. Right now, a can of Spam runs around $3 to $4 and packs nearly 1,000 calories. That's less than 50 cents per survival meal with protein and fat included. No freezer, no fridge, no problem. Rising cost warning. But here's the kicker. Canned meat prices jumped 18% last year thanks to skyrocketing pork and beef costs. Expect another bump soon, and don't be surprised when this cheap meat becomes a luxury. And that's the closer. Spam might be the punchline today, but in a real collapse, it's the can everyone wishes they stocked up on. If this list shocked you, good. Because prepping isn't about paranoia, it's about staying 10 steps ahead when everyone else is caught off guard. The truth? What preppers hide in their pantries isn't random. It's strategy. Every jar, bag, and can has one purpose: survival. And when the shelves go bare, these aren't just groceries, they're lifelines. The people who laugh it off now, they'll be the same ones begging, bartering, or breaking down later. But the ones who stock smart, they'll be calm, fed, and in control while the rest scramble. So here's the move. Start building your pantry today. Not tomorrow. Not someday, because the next crisis won't send you a calendar invite. Want more survival breakdowns like this? Hit subscribe, stick around, and stay ready. And tell me this before you go. If you could only pick one item from this list, what's going in your pantry first? Drop it in the comments. You might give someone else the idea that saves their life. Stay sharp. Stay stocked.